5 shows at Wario's as a game. Shocking, right? Anyway, 5 shows at Wario's has 4 main modes, and today we will be discussing every room in the factory standard mode. You see, this mode recycles the gameplay from 5 Nights at Wario's 3. Why, you may ask? Simple logic. But because it has the gameplay from 3, that must mean it has multiple rooms. And because of that, let's rank them from easiest to hardest. Okay, enough filler, let's get to the list. The storage room is stupidly easy due to there being only one character that can kill you, and it is barely a threat. You see, in this room Peach will approach you very slowly to the point where she usually attacks only twice a night. Not only that, but she gives you so much time to stop her. Speaking of stopping her, all you have to do is click a button once and she is already gone. There is no catch, that is literally it. There is only one thing that can kill you, and it only attacks about twice a night, and it can be stopped by clicking a button. Wow. Just wow. You see, this room is super stinky. So stinky to the point where you will freaking die. You see, your oxygen is depleting very slowly in this night, but so you need to check every single room to find the clean air button. But you see, the oxygen meter goes down so slowly it's barely a threat. Donkey Kong is also here, and all you have to do is not look at him. Besides, he can't even kill you, and just like in 5 Nights at Wario's 3, he is only in one room. This night is just too easy, especially for a night 4 room. The office is extremely easy, but that's to be expected as it's the first room. You see, this is literally night 1 of 5 Nights at Wario's 1, but Wario goes to the right and Waluigi takes a different route. I don't need to say much more, as I think we all know just how easy of a game Wario's 1 is. But hey, I'll give this room this. At least it isn't stupidly boring, unlike another first room that we don't speak of. But anyway, let's move on. The control room is a breeze to get through, as all you need to do is watch a single camera and wait for someone to leave. When someone is in the office camera, all you need to do is simply use the correct shock for each character. This night is that simple. The only reason this room is harder than the office is because on your first playthrough it could be a little hard to notice Luigi leaving the office exit when Waluigi is also in the room, but that's it. Anyway, let's move on. In this room you need to send Luigi back by shocking him while slamming the door on Wario when he is in the freezing room. You see, your shock has to reboot before you can use it again, and you can't use your cameras when the door is closed. This night is very easy, and the only reason I didn't put it any lower is because when Wario is in the freezing room you'll have to choose from taking a risk to shock Luigi or play it safe by closing the door, but doing that gives Luigi an advantage. But in the end, this room is very easy. The bathroom is a very simple night. All you have to do is scan the rooms next to you. When someone leaves one of those rooms, all you have to do is flash the bathroom and you're good. This night doesn't really have much more to it, to be completely honest. It's a pretty simple and straightforward night that is pretty easy. Entrance 1 is basically the hard mode of the storage room. Remember how you had to find the clean air button in the storage? Well, Mario is basically that, but you see, unlike the oxygen meter, Mario's kill timer is actually a threat, as it doesn't take 5 million years for him to attack. Kinda like Peach, all you have to do to stop Waluigi is push a button, but unlike Peach, Waluigi is still a threat, as you don't know when he is there unless you do lots of trial and error. While all of this is happening, your power is constantly draining and you'll lose a huge chunk by mistiming flashing Waluigi. While I wouldn't say this night is technically hard, it is more challenging than the others. In the freezing room you'll have to change the temperature of the building to stop everyone. Waluigi is hot, Luigi is warm, and Peach is cold. When 2 characters leave, it could be stressful moving them both back. This is the only room in the game that has 3 characters, and because of that this room has been moved up a little. While all of this is happening, you have to heat up the room or you'll die, so be sure to do that every so often. This room is a little tough, but isn't the worst thing out there. Now we have my favorite room in the game, the crossroads. In this room you'll have to basically play WarioWare, but it's 5 Nights at Wario's themed. As far as difficulty goes, the room falls into the middle. Most of the micro games are pretty easy, but 2 specifically can screw you up. The first annoying one is the don't move micro game. You see, most of the micro games need immediate reaction times, so when you get this one you'll most likely lose a life. The boss is also really challenging, and its difficulty depends on how good you did. You see, on this room you have 5 lives and you lose 1 if you fail a micro game. At the very end all of your lives become your HP for the boss. In the boss you'll need to dodge multiple of projectiles coming towards you and you'll need to have perfect mouse movements to not get hit. But in the end this room is somewhat difficult, but I don't consider it to be challenging. The corridor is a very interesting night. You see, kinda like the storage, there is only one thing that can kill you. But unlike Peach, Mario is an actual threat. Mario will move at a medium speed and you'll always have to know where he is. In this night the lights will turn off about every 25 seconds and when that happens you have to flash the room Mario is in. If you fail you'll lose 500 power and that isn't good due to how fast it drains on the cameras. This room is all about memorization and reflexes. Due to that I think it belongs here. The machinery is a pretty stressful night and Mario is the main reason. Yes, that Mario. But we have our first problem. The power charges somewhat slowly. Now it might look fast, but when you are at really low power it can really get in your way. Moving on, Mario will only move when you are charging. When he is in the room next to you, aka the bathroom, you won't be able to see him. Due to that you'll have to guess when he enters. He is kinda like Waluigi from Entrance 1 but with a more strict kill timer. Missed timing will drain a lot of power and you'll have to recharge it back, allowing Mario to get a straight shot at you. While all of that is happening, Luigi is making his way towards you and to stop him you have to stare at him. Doing this takes away a lot of your precious charging time, making this night just harder. So yeah, this is the first room in the game I actually consider to be hard and because of that it has been placed here. The cellar is a pretty challenging night that requires a lot of focus. Remember how I said the freezing room is the only room in the game with 3 characters? Well, forget that, as this room also has 3 characters. Wario will make his way towards your room so you'll have to watch him from your Five Nights at Wario's 1 perspective. Oh, and I forgot, this room has 2 perspectives. One being the 5 Show's perspective and the other being the Wario's 1 perspective. I made it so that each of my applications are at one half of my screen and that's why the footage is super thin. But anyway, back to Wario. He will move on the cameras on the Wario's 1 perspective and when he leaves the machinery you'll have to shock him in the show's perspective. And if you miss, you guessed it, you'll lose a huge chunk of power. Luigi will spawn in your room every time to time and when that happens you'll have to click the rope he's hanging on to survive. He is barely a threat normally, but when you are on the Wario's 1 perspective he can cause some trouble. Now we have the biggest threat of them all. Mario. Yes, that Mario. You see, you have to charge a battery that charges very slowly. Not only that, but Mario gives you little to no time to fully charge it, making your life very difficult. Even when you are done charging it you still aren't finished. Now you need to send the battery back over to Wario's 1 and drag it into the computer and only then are you done. With all 3 of characters I just mentioned together you get one challenging night. Entrance 2 is a huge pain in the butt to get through, so allow me to explain why. You see, the mechanics are very simple. When Wario is in your room, shock him, and when Waluigi is in your room, turn off the lights. But there is a catch. The lights can't be turned off when you're shocking the room and you can't shock the room when the lights are off. In order to prevent the Wario Bros from attacking at the same time, you're given a music box to put Waluigi back to sleep. But you see, after you use it you have to recharge it, but it recharges so slowly to the point where Waluigi is bound to leave at least once when you are charging it. And you know what that means. There is a chance the Wario and Waluigi could attack at the same time and there is nothing you could do to prevent it. You might say, well, just time it so they won't team up, but here is the problem. Waluigi's movement is completely based off of RNG, meaning there is no real timing. This is super annoying and I've died so many times on this night just due to bad luck and it really got on my nerves. With all of that in mind, I consider this to be the hardest night in the game. And that's it, everyone. I hope you enjoyed today's list. Now I have a question for you. What rooms do you think are the easiest and the hardest? Let me know in the comments if you feel like it. But anyway, thanks for watching and I'll see you all again, eventually.